Hello guys, welcome to part 5 of my JUNKBOX thinning exercise. And then today we have another ROMMEL, my poor man's version of ROMMEL. Okay, in case some of you have missed the previous episode, give me a second. In case some of you has missed the previous episodes of this JUNKBOX thinning exercise, the previous parts were exactly JUNKBOX thinning exercise from this build. Okay, if you are interested in the previous parts where I get to build this set from leftover of my SAS build. Okay, but anyways, this diorama is also a JUNKBOX thinning exercise, also from this diorama. Okay, now this ROMMEL was actually built I think about 2-3 years back. Okay, it's a rescued effort from what we call lost sale. Okay. With this figure, all I had was a dragon head attached to a dragon body with the uniform. But anyways, if you're interested in that, it's also inside here. No, not in ROMMEL. ROMMEL was started. It was built about 3 years back, before I got onto YouTube. But he's on Facebook. But this diorama, if you're interested, is also here. Okay, James Pang's scratch building and kit badges. Okay, but anyways, we get onto the business of today's ROMMEL. Now, before I show you the details, there's actually I was not planning on filming this, but I have to get into the issue of covering this joint and this joint before I could proceed. So before we proceed, let's take a look at what we have here. Let me shut down the machine and do a quick fry pass. I think the only two things I scratch built on this one is actually this pair of goggles, the British gas mask goggles. and this. And the rest are actually quite straightforward. Okay, I think that's enough of this. That's enough of this. I put you guys back on my scratch build handphone holder, and then we'll proceed to covering up the joints. Okay. Do away with this. Turn on the lights. Put away this. And get you guys focused. Okay. So I'll work around here. Okay. Get some noise or whatever on the background. Okay. Like what I told you, this one is a poor man's view. Then actually it was actually intended to be a base figure to be put away. So what I'm going to show you when I'm fixing this joint is actually a deconstruction of this figure. There's actually very little here, but I'll explain what I did as I go along. First, the head sculpt. This is actually a leftover from the Jeep also. It's from the DID kit. Okay, for the head sculpt, is it possible to get closer? Yeah, I think I go down here. Yeah. Okay, for this head sculpt, it's actually I've been fiddling with this, but ended up with this. For this head sculpt, it's actually a German. Is it focus? Let me recheck the focus. No, I think I have to place my hands. Okay, this head sculpt is actually the rework of this Dragon head sculpts. The reason I never use this one is because the shape of the nose, and what fill this head sculpt is actually the ears. But this is actually I actually have to grind out some of the parts, start to modifying, and then it doesn't look right, so half done. This one goes into my head sculpt box. So from this head sculpt, the only thing that ROMMEL the only thing that this this head sculpt has from ROMMEL is actually the hair. Okay. The hair, ROMMEL has almost bald hair, so it's not big issue because if we have a cap. Okay, this cap is actually I think it's an old Dragon cap, the rubber kind. Okay, so for this cap, this cap I actually color it some, weather it some, but the main detail that's missing is actually the cap badge. This one, ROMMEL has a very different one. So conveniently, ROMMEL always seem to have this pair of British pattern goggles. So I made this goggle. Okay, do I have to focus you guys back out? Because I was afraid of okay, for this pair of British goggles, is actually made of this. It's actually a simple job of cutting out this section, which produce this. Okay. Then out of this section. This section is cut off, but the base is the more towards the base is used for the correct curvature. Then from this one, the shape is actually a mark out. Okay, it's actually mark out. Then cut to roughly the shape. The green thing that you see here, this is actually toilet paper and PVA. Then of course hobby pin as wash. This is the usual mumbo jumbo, the few steps that you always see me using out here. Produce this goggle, okay, which cover up the not correct detail of the logo, and then of course ROMMEL's hair. Okay, then the other thing that ROMMEL has is actually a piece of this tartan headscarf that his daughter got him. Okay. Now from this one, actually this is the first one I tried. Okay, this is actually the first pattern I tried using one of these. Now you guys may have seen this on eBay. It comes in, I think, 1.5 foot length. Okay, the same thing, which actually I cut. Now this is actually I cut it too short, so I measured this one, cut it. But anyway, it's one of these. Now the only thing that this thing fail is because it's 100% polyester. It's near impossible to ship it. So from this headscarf, I tried to find a more authentic one. Now ROMMEL's tartan pattern scarf tend to have blue and I think some green in it, but I can't find the exact pattern around the house. But I do find one old shirt or one old blouse, one of my wife's blouse, which I cut. Okay, this blouse which I cut, and then it's thin enough to be PVA, to be PVA, then of course shipped. I'll take this opportunity to burn off some of the fuse. Okay. Yep. Oops, I just burned my fingers. Okay, from this one, just to make things easier, this scarf is actually glued onto the back of the neck of the neck with thin drafting tape. Okay, just to make life easier. Then of course to shape this one, this is actually tight. Then the important spots like here is actually super glued. Okay, this spot is actually super glued. Okay, that's it. That is the headscarf and the head. Okay, so from this one you get to this one for actually little bit than hobby pin, a few drops of hobby pin, the poor man's version. Okay, so as you recall, I was building cleaning my junk box, and then I got to building this. Then I'm actually horrified to find I think my scrap box too much. Too much. So I go and get one of those German figures, which I was thinking of building more Africa for. Then I happened to find one set of ROMMEL tunic and the inner shirt, and the ROMMEL medal with I think what describe this part is described as what, oak leaf. The German cross with oak leaf, from the same guy. Okay, I got this set. The pants, the tunic, and the uniform, and inner shirt, and this one for, I think, the U from how much was it? 20 Singapore bucks. Okay, just this one, no other details. Okay, no other items. Now so my original idea was actually to take some paint thinner, wash off this one, take out this one, change it to something, then make it ordinary troops. But I can tell you guys, in nowadays, if I do that, I'll be sent to hell, because this type of thing is right now is actually near impossible to get. Very rare. Never mind the price. Okay, I was lucky to get this set for 20 Singapore bucks. Okay. So I was trying to wrestle with much time of wrestling whether to actually clean off this part and then make ROMMEL's tunic into something for his troops. I couldn't get past that stage. So it's another ROMMEL, the poor man's version. Okay, so the same dragons. Hence, this is also a leftover from this SASG build. It's a real map of Africa, a scale map of Africa. Then from this hand, a scratch build, what do you call this one? Champagne glass or something like that, tumbler, something like that, out of this. And a pin. The disc here is actually a piece of cardboard. So that is that. Throw this thing here. So actually what we have was actually a very simple champagne glass, of which the joint I have to cover, these two joints. Okay. So we get down to the belt. This is actually just a run of the mill German belt of fake leather. Okay, so for this belt, it's actually another hole here, then reinforced with super glue. Now for this pair of gloves, it's actually the modern Hello glove. The one that's green with I think some polyester thing here, which actually, if you own any of those hot toys Hello, you'll know all these things is a hell of a way to put on. And then after you put on excuse me, after you put on, after a year, all this nylon will crack off, but the glove itself is actually beautiful. These are actually cotton like, stretchable, but obviously they'll fluff up. So the solution to making them flat, of course, is PVA. Okay, with this belt on, this thing is sharp in PVA, then press flat. If not, the whole thing will fluff up. Okay, PVA the PVA flattened glove. Okay. The shaded are added on by cigarette lighter. Okay, by cigarette lighter on here. Now, if any 1/6 furler that's doing any, let me repeat, any furler that's doing 1/6 has to have a ROMMEL in his collection somewhere, sooner or later. Now for Dragon's ROMMEL, this tunic was actually shaped to have not a belt on. If you look at those historical photograph of ROMMEL, his tunic with the belt on is actually quite big and fluffy. So the other thing I keep on harping on, the only thing, give me a second. The other thing I keep on harping on is actually PVA and wrinkles. Now for ROMMEL one is the reverse of wrinkle. It's actually PVA to tailor a shirt. Okay. One more thing, the reason why I bring out this one. This ROMMEL tunic is the same as this one. Okay, the same thing. It's just that for this tunic, I actually recolored it. Okay. Using the same what we call enamel paint washes. Okay, it's actually the same color. Okay, from the fluffy one, if you were to PVA it, you can have it tailored. Okay, the same thing. It's the same shirt. The same set, different colored, PVA treated. A bit this one is actually besides treated, I actually weathered it. This one is unweathered, untreated. Okay, again to get things like that is actually a few basic steps. Don't complicate things in hobby with more and more techniques, more and more stuff. You know, like 3D printing. If you are not into, if you don't want to have one lying around the house, you end up having a warehouse just to build maybe a tank, a figure. Then you cause more stress. Okay, so back to this one. A few basic steps to get a tailored shirt. Now, obviously, if this thing is not PVA treated, it will be very fluffy. Those of you who have owned this one, or you take a look at some photograph from this Google, you will know. Okay, the way to this one, the way to do this one is actually to trim down the waist, obviously. Okay. So the extra fabric is actually stuck inside here, and then the PVA is allowed to dry. So now for PVA, don't get too stressed out. The shirt is still a shirt. It still behaves like fabric. Okay. And then it keeps the wrinkle or whatever shape you want to straighten out or whatever. Okay, whatever shape you want is there. Okay, this is treated. This is untreated. Okay, this is untreated. Okay, obviously with a treated PVA, the color has changed somewhat. Okay, but don't worry about that too much. So we came down to this part. Okay, for ROMMEL, I forgot about this method, or what is it officially called, but this one for Dragon is actually sewed on here. Okay, so I remove the thread and then sew on to this one, which obviously, you know, the black elastic bands behind, they have actually fallen off. Not fallen off, actually weakened. So I just cut off the bands. Take one of my leather working cords. Okay. Sew one end here, roughly tie, sew the go around, then just in, out, then lift this thing, lift a tail. Don't try to over engineer things like that. Just a simple thing that actually will help you post, and then this set of method are easier. Okay. Then depending on your taste or whatever, you can actually leave this lanyard, or just have it cut off, something like that. So for this method, instead of being sewed here and then actually disappeared, it's actually just sew here too. So the middle part. Okay. Now for this one, for this shirt, is actually the part that I want to get through. Okay, so to cover the wrist joint, actually this thing is not long enough. So my intention is to cut off the sleeve. Okay, cut off the sleeve, then have this thing slide forward. Okay, so now is to remove the shirt. Oh, one more thing. Okay, one more. It's time to remove the shirt. Now for those newcomers to 1/6, to remove a shirt like this, don't do it like what you would do in normal life. Okay? Don't go it over the top, but pull it down from the bottom. You have a much easier time. Okay, pull it down from the bottom. Let me turn this thing around. And then remove it. From the bottom. Okay, since I'm to this stage, I would like to show you what goes on into this set of a dragon body. Okay, remove the now for this figure, I've not exactly gone into detailing it, weathering it yet. First, I was going to get rid of this pesky wrist joint problem before I put it away. But right now in my life, there's a lot of things going on that going back to a big to continue, not going back, to continue with a big belt, like with a big build like a SAS gym, is near impossible. Okay, so the other thing that goes, the other two things that goes on with this dragon plastic body is actually the neck joints. Okay, I've actually cut off the pull this thing out. Okay, cut off whatever here, then I drill a hole, put a simple pin here. It's actually to lengthen ROMMEL's neck. Now to make a figure work, besides the leg, the neck is actually another area they pay attention to. Depending on the number of stuff, the number of items that you put above the neck, from a simple thing like a collar or what, the neck sometimes needs to be lengthened. So this is actually a fast, cheap, quick way of convenience to do it. Okay, don't have to do much. But ROMMEL's neck, as you see, is actually extended past normal, but with the height of the collar and whatever, it will look better. Okay. So neck joints already covered. I think it's already covered in the other thing. Now the second thing I did to this one is actually, should I remove the pants together? No. I want to make this video short. It's actually a simple leg extension. Okay, which I will not show you how it's done, but I shall show you what is done. Okay, for dragon's body. Okay, these are real dragon bodies. They actually click. Okay. I think when Dragon started in 1982, 81, or thereabouts. Okay. When the company itself started in Hong Kong, Hong Kong, Taiwan, China is actually still closed down. Okay, not locked down right now, but closed down due to their company policy. It's not open to the world. But what little of knowledge the manufacturer had then, I think they patented this figure. Okay, for Dragon is actually if you look behind, it's actually a patent pending. That means for Dragon, they actually make this thing from scratch. But I think the body what we call the body shape or the body sizes or body dimensions is actually, I think they patented it under the Asian one, which have a shorter leg. Okay, Asians have shorter leg by proportions. Okay. Or maybe they look at some of those old photographs and then they chose the bad photograph with I saw one on Google with a very big head. Then the guy appears to be quite short. So when all these factors combine, make Dragon produce figures with actually short legs. Okay, anyway, that's what I thought. Now an easier way to solve this problem is actually to cut off this one. Then I actually use a piece of cork to shove it in. Then to hold the thing is actually to hold the cork, the piece of wine cork, to this one or in between. Is actually, again, simple technique. Baking soda and super glue. Okay, when you're extending this one, I've discovered now, don't try to go too far. The most 1 cm. Just extend the leg on 1 cm, whether it's World War II German. So, okay, one effect of this one is actually of extending this one is actually make the first, obviously it made the figure stand taller, look better. But the other more important one is actually as the figure get taller, okay, the shoulder appears to be narrower. Now, to be frank, if you are going to be to be building World War II figures. Muscular bodies is actually not authentic also. People are actually built quite differently from I should say pre-1960s. Those fellow that are from the 30s, 40s, unless you are gifted, it's a God-given that you have a chiseled body or what. Okay, it's not the norm to have any body like that. So to build a World War II figure from muscular body or whatever, it actually takes some work. Okay. So okay, anyways, this thing extended by 1 cm. Okay, then the rest is actually quite normal. Okay, so again the pants is PVA treated. So when this thing is down, I think I will just take the opportunity to ruffle up the pants a bit. Okay, it's PVA treated. If you do this thing with a set of normal pants, the wrinkles will not stay in place. Okay, wrinkle in place. Then we'll actually try to straighten it out. Because it's ROMMEL, we are going for a tailored look. Okay, so see now it's wrinkled. Now I want 2 creases here, so actually it's easy to just pick out the crease. Okay, so let's get back to the objective of today's exercise. Oh, that's what my instructor always says. Okay, to get this thing that few millimeter down, obviously you can go for watches, you can go for bracelet, but this is a performance version. So actually my solution is actually to just cut this thing and then push it down, bearing in mind that sometime in the future I might just roll up the sleeve. Okay, for if I want to recycle this figure. So to roll up the sleeve I need to be bigger. Okay, so somewhere here, just cut it off. So to measure this one to this side, measure somewhere here, there, everywhere. Okay, so right now we have something like that. Okay, get the orientation right, then put everything back on. Put everything back on. Okay, sorry. How do I do it the last time? Oh, every time. Okay, pull this thing out. Get into the hole, the sleevers. Okay, pull this thing out. Pull this thing forward. And get this thing behind. And then we'll leave longer. One big part of this thing is actually I can't see. Singapore has been raining for the past 2 weeks. Which actually okay, so right now it's back on normal. So before I put back the set of medal, I need to get this thing situated. Is there okay, so this thing is here. Yep. Okay, clean up the loose threads inside. Yeah, all these threads all these loose threads has been bothering me. Yeah, I think I'm happy with it. Okay, so let's carry on with putting this thing back together. Okay, so the other thing that is actually quite often unseen is actually drafting tape, which I lost the other reel. No. It's actually drafting tape. This, okay, for this drafting tape, it actually is to more to hold this the cut-off sleeve in place during assembly, as opposed to holding it down for the finishing. No, it's just to make assembly life easier. So the sleeve, yeah, the button, the button on the cuff is what I want to have. Okay, so this thing is hi. I left it out too long. Yeah, I think that's about the length I need. Okay, so this thing is extended. So I think we got the problem solved, but we'll check it later. Okay, so for this thing, we got the sleeve solved. Put back this one. Put back this one into the proper place. Okay, have it centered. Blah blah blah. Okay, have it centered. Have it centered. Okay, have it centered. Tie down. But I will not cut off the excess. Okay. The main point is to actually show off this second matter, which this is I think the iron cross with oak leaf. This one is I think the order of a Nazi Empire or something. Okay, so we have something like that. Double check, which I cock up. They do have a left and right side. Yeah, they do have a left and right side. Okay, like give me some patience, guys. Live unedited. You don't get see this type of action often on YouTube in 1/6. Everything is perfect. Just like that. Should I put another? Yeah, I think I put another. I hold the upper stitch down also. Because if this thing rolls up, okay, if this thing rolls up, I have a hell of a time. One bit of a time. So this is actually to make my life easier. Could I memory? Okay, so throw it away, and this one is just to batten down the upper parts. Okay, so for this one. So for this arm, it's to be pushed backwards. So something like that should be good. Yeah. Okay, so this thing is actually held down. Let's go for the other side, which I forget what pose I was using. What pose was that? Oh, this is up there. Okay, okie dokie. Okay, so something like this should be good. Yeah, something like this should be good. Okay, let's not worry too much about this one. Okay, so the other factor I have to bear in mind is actually not to hold down the collar too much. Okay, not to hold down the collar too much. Or the yeah. Okay, so let's put this dress ROMMEL back up again. Okay. Put this thing in, and then we'll put on the bolts. Now the easier way to put on the bolts is actually not to fight the bolts, but to use some lubricant. Okay, a drop here, a drop there will make your life easier. Okay, this one just like that, this one put in like that, slide it in, just like that. It will make taking off the bolts easier also. Okay. As opposed to dipping it in hot water. Yep. slosh it around. Yep. Okay. So we have something like that. Okay. So the other thing you have to do is actually check the joint whether it's to be oriented in the correct rotation. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, so one thing about getting PVA, at a certain stage, PVA is actually also reversible. So if you are going to sculpt something like that, maybe an atomizer, water. Okay, it will soften up. It will soften up the PVA, and then after it dries, it will retain the PVA. Okay. Of course, if you are in a hurry, you could bring a hot hair dryer over this thing. Okay, so more or less to get the tailored crease line. Okay, so you get what I mean now. Okay. Okay, I work on this not to waste time on YouTube. I get onto this one. The view continues. Okay, now get this shirt on. Okay, this shirt on. I need a straight one. Which yeah. Okay, this thing. This side. This thing on. Oh, guys. For thermostats, last time used to be quite very expensive. Now I think I got about a dozen, 12 of this one from a UK seller for I think under 40 Singapore dollars with shipping. Try to get a bunch of this one. It's actually very useful. This one is actually from Micromark. Okay, from Micromark I got it in the 1980s. Rated for surgery. Really rated for surgery. And then I think I got this thing, one piece, I think at a 1981 $30 US, excluding shipping, one piece. I don't know. Micromark still is in business today. But this is Micromark. To pay something US $30 for a piece of, and then okay, this is actually also from Micromark. The straight version and then the curve version. The only thing there's the cheaper the dozen one is actually a bit shorter, but to me it doesn't matter. Okay, if can get a set of this one. It will make your life so much easier. Okay, so this one. Hey, yes, we're almost there. So there, I've lost the belt. Where is the belt? I remember for this dragon figure, ROMMEL don't have a belt. Okay, because I think they pattern that particular vintage figure. Hey guys, I'm not talking about new kids, I'm talking about kids that are 20, 30 years old. This is vintage material. Okay, if you have the dragon one, or you have got the dragon one, it's not dragon skimming because if you look at the historical photographs, ROMMEL actually doesn't go around in belts. Okay, he don't have belts all the time. It's either a tunic during daytime or a grey coat at night. Okay, sit it down. See, this thing is damn, I want to, you know. Okay, sit it down. Okay, so get this thing in. What is happening? Okay, get this thing in. So do we have it? So do we have it? This is supposed to be relaxing for me. I do 162. I do scale hobby to relax. For YouTube, is actually freaking me out. It's actually quite stressful. Doing this sort of thing for YouTube now. Yep. I think in the meantime, no. Don't waste too time. Goblet like that should be easy enough to make. Okay, so do we have it? I think the wrist joint is actually quite well covered. Yeah, to me it makes a lot of difference. Okay, again for your those new to 1/6 don't post the figure like that. Okay, catch it by both the legs. Okay, and then you push it, even twist it. Okay, don't you have a better natural pose, easier time posing it. Yep. Okay, so we come to the end of this video and the start of another rainy day here in Singapore. I'm going for a bicycle ride. I was going for a bicycle ride, a long bicycle ride later, which is why I was off YouTube for how long? 2 weeks. Okay, for this pair of binoculars, it's actually more to hold down the scarf and help pose the scarf than anything. But actually you don't need it. And then actually it looks even better with the scarf outside. Okay, with the scarf outside. Okay, but obviously the okay, so right now we are back to roughly square one with the wrist joint covered. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. No, building a scale model is actually to make to make something, whether it's a tank, a train, a ship, a boat, an airplane, a spaceship, an alien, to make it as real as possible, or as I can say, to make it half as believable. So if someone with interest, not into this hobby, with interest, they were to pick up a hobby, then they are straight away drawn to those forks. So for me, actually covering up forks like joints, all these things, get the leg extended, get the neck extended, it's actually a part and parcel of that formula. As you can see, it's actually a very simple formula. Okay, very simple formula. Basically, PVA, this one. Oh no, this one. Basically, the three things that you need, other than of course some hobby pins and hardware store thinner, cheap hardware store thinner, and of course three things like this one around the house. Okay guys, so is it worth it? Let's take a look. Oh my god, is another hour gone. Okay, so I think maybe switch off the work lamp. So is it worth it? I think it's worth it. The wrist joint. Okay, so guys, I think we will end the episode here with another drop test. Okay, let's go for another drop test. Okay, from here to here is about 25 inches, a little more than 2 feet. So okay, so from the ledge here to here is about 25 inches. Officially measured in one of the episodes. So obviously, if I were to go down straight, okay, the hands will be destroyed. Okay. If I go down from the back, it will be safer. Okay, so okay, anyways, let's do a drop test while I position the camera. Zoom it out. Okay, here about 26 inches above, and then we'll do it face down. Okay, drop test. So obviously things stay mostly intact. I need to move this thing down. But I don't care. If I go down, it will be intact. Okay, so actually it survived. It survived, man. It survived. Survived, man. I think ROMMEL looks happier after the drop test. Okay. So actually after the drop test, we have ROMMEL, and I'm happy with the wrist joint. Okay guys, see you in the next episode. Well, I decided whether to keep this set, keep ROMMEL, and this set. Okay, to put them away as base figure or continue building them into a diorama. Because right now, a big diorama like this one, I have really actually no time to do it. No time to finish this thing because it's actually way too big. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so we'll end this episode with a poor man's ROMMEL. I'm so poor with parts. There's actually he has US Army boots on. Okay, so anyways, that's all, folks. See you in the next episode, guys. Bye. 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 Okay, really, thank you for your precious time and the support. See you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.